Hello guys, and in this video we're going to talk about why Palantir is not going to go to the moon the way you think. And this is a very important video, but it's going to be a very short one. So let's get straight to it. So this video is sort of like a part two of a video that I did very recently, which is understanding Palantir's business model. I'm going to link it up here on the card. It's a very, very important video if you're a Palantir investor. But the point is that Palantir is a platform company and not a feature company. So this is a very, very good thing. But what does this mean? So companies that have a very easy way to market and can grow rapidly and show investors that they're growing rapidly, these companies tend to become feature companies, meaning that they are not innovating on something that is groundbreaking. Rather, they are, finding an easy thing that can grow and that investors can invest into. And this results in, like a very big hype. And, it's like momentum investing. The investors are investing because they see other investors investing, kind of like how FTX was going up. And then, it fizzles out. While if you find a true platform company, something that is doing profound changes in industries, what you're going to see is they have a very tough way to the market because they really have to create something very big that takes a long time. And they will have slow growth, but they will have that slow growth over a very long period of time. And look at what the All In podcast had to say. So this week's All In podcast was talking about the new regime, how companies are going to be like with this new high interest rate environment that is coming. And this was super interesting. It fits right into what we're talking about here because they were talking about when the interest rates were zero, money was slushing around everywhere. It basically resulted in that companies were just trying to show investors that they can grow, and it didn't matter how much money they were losing, they just had to show growth. And then you suddenly had a lot of feature companies appearing that they were not really platforms, they were not groundbreaking, they were not profound. And now that the capital is expensive, this is going to change. And it actually very much reminded me of Palantir. And by the way, if you like this content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos. But let's go to the all-in pod so I can show you what I mean.
2005, we had a 50% mortality rate.
At the seed stage, I mean, you kind of expect 70% to go out. Series A, maybe a little bit less. Freeberg, what are you seeing on the streets? You're investing in startups.
Yeah, look, I think that
Is there an opportunity, by the way, also in here? So what are you seeing? But is there an opportunity in this cohort of companies which seem to be upside down and or in a tsunami right now?
This cohort of companies, I think, generally is overburdened with feature orientation and short-termism more than you would see in an era of reduced capital rather than excess capital. And what I mean by that is a lot of companies built a business or built a product that allowed them to show traction in the market faster. And typically those products that are easier kind of paths to market end up being features. They don't end up being platforms. So it's very hard to become a big business or to become a scaling business or to differentiate in a competitive market. That's a very general statement. But I think, when you miss out on the platform play, you start betting as an investor on a lot of the derivative plays that look like the real big company, look like the platform. I mean, think about how many companies try to look like some iteration of Stripe or try to look like some iteration of Uber or try to look like some iteration of, name your big kind of behemoth. And as a result, you get all these sort of feature-ish platform plays that have maybe a niche or some kind of, narrow kind of market opportunity. They got funded. Those businesses obviously aren't going to have the same valuation multiples of the winners in the market. And now, and they burnt a lot of money to demonstrate growth because so much of investing over the last 15 years has been momentum investing.
So Palantir is going to be a company that is going to grow very, very steadily because they are a platform company and they're not a feature company. So they didn't have an easy time to market. Remember, it took 15 years for them to develop Foundry, and it's a very groundbreaking product. But this is very good news for us because logically, you shouldn't expect that Palantir is going to suddenly, people realize this and then it shoots up to $30. But instead, it's going to grow 20 to 30% per year, kind of like how Salesforce did throughout its life. And this is because they are a huge platform. So obviously what I'm saying here is speculation. I don't have a crystal ball, and as we have seen, anything can happen on the stock market, but this is what I'm expecting, right? So I think if you can't think to hold Palantir for the long term, as Buffett says, if you can't think to hold a stock for 10 years, don't consider it even for a minute. So I think if you're looking for a momentum play, this company is not your company. I personally invested in Palantir because I want to own companies for 10 to 20 plus years that consistently produce fantastic returns. And why is that? Because it takes a lot of work and effort to get to know a stock, to understand the business model. And if I want to limit how many companies that I look at, because, I will make mistakes. The more bets I make, the more mistakes there will probably be. So this is why if Palantir is this company and I can just own it and it doesn't like shoot to the moon and becomes $40 by the end of the year, I'm very lucky because I get to own something for the next 10, 20 years and really build out a substantial position on this. So just I wanted to make this quick video for those of you who want to trade momentum on Palantir so that you know what to expect and what is the reality in this new high interest rate environment of Palantir just blowing up. And I'm actually very happy that I think that this is the reality. So let me know in the comments what you think. Also, if you have been watching this far, you're amazing. I have a Patreon where you can support the channel and get access to exclusive videos. For example, one that explains my stock market strategy, and you get direct access to me. So it would make me very happy if you checked it out and maybe even signed up. And otherwise, it's okay if you're just subscribed to this channel. Please make sure you stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.